Hi guys, it's Vesna here. Welcome to my channel if you're brand new. If you're coming back, thanks for coming back. Today I am participating in a challenge hosted by Nicole Northgarden. If you haven't checked out her page, please be sure to check it out. She does a lot of DIY, thrifting, crafting, organizing, all sorts of stuff. She is pretty amazing, so please be sure to check out her page. For today's challenge, we had to create, well, actually, no, sorry, it's a get it done challenge. So what had to be done was either we had to finish a thrift flip that we'd wanted to do, organize a space, try a new recipe, basically whatever we've been putting off to get done, to get it done. So what I did is I made these cookies. This is my mother-in-law's recipe. I've been putting it off, but my husband really likes them. So they're kind of like gingerbread cookies, except there's no molasses or brown sugar. It's with honey. They're called honey cookies back home, but the closest recipe here that we would have is gingerbread cookies. But like I said, without the molasses and brown sugar, instead you just have white sugar and honey. Actually, sorry, powdered sugar and honey. So I'm going to tell you the recipe, and you tell me what you think. Okay, so because this is a European recipe, all of the measurements were in grams. So I had to get my scale out. So you're going to need 750 grams of flour. Again, I'm just using regular bleached flour, all-purpose flour. Then you will need 350 grams of icing sugar. Now I found that this was quite a bit of dry ingredients compared to the amount of wet ingredients. So I actually added a little bit more wet, and I will explain that a little bit further. So I'm just putting everything into my stand mixer, and that's where I'm going to have the dough form. But because it is so much flour, it was quite hard for my mixer to actually form the dough. So I wound up doing some by hand. The icing sugar is just normal icing sugar. And I suppose you could add less if you didn't want it so sweet, because 350 grams is quite a bit. But I did exactly as the recipe said, especially since the hubby likes it. You're going to also need then 4 eggs. And then it says 125 grams of butter, which that's the ingredient that I found was too little. So I probably did double that. I just kind of added more to get the dough. So I would say I did double that. So I did about 250 grams of butter. So as you can see, like, that right there is 125 grams, which is not a lot of butter for so much flour. So then I wound up adding kind of double that of butter. And my butter was very, very, very soft. It wasn't melted, but it was very soft. The other mistake I made is I did not melt the honey. Maybe this is common sense for some people. I did not know that you had to melt the honey. So I didn't melt my honey. Maybe that would have made the dough a little bit more moist. So I just didn't do it. And then you're gonna need either allspice, or you can kind of make your own. So I'm using some cloves there that I've crushed, a little bit of cinnamon, and some nutmeg. So that's what I'm doing there. And I added just like a hint of pepper, just because I read somewhere that kind of gives it a little bit of a good taste. Then you're going to need, for the honey, you'll need 5 tablespoons of honey. You're going to need 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And then you'll need an extra egg yolk at the end to brush over top of the cookies. Now with the allspice or the spices, whatever, I just kind of eyeballed it. I would say you would probably need about about like a teaspoon on that amount of the allspices. So I'll let that do its thing, and then I'm adding the honey now. I added it kind of once the stuff got mixed in a little bit. So as you can see, the dough is extremely hard. I did not record myself hand kneading it just because it was too hard to record. So and I was frustrated. So I was told the dough was supposed to be super sticky. Mine was not sticky and it was extremely hard. You're supposed to have a soft dough. Mine was not soft. So I'm going to cover it. Oh yes, I forgot. I did put a little bit of lemon in there, so I just want to show you how much lemon rind I put in there. So again, probably about a teaspoon into the dough just to give it like a little bit more of flavor. And then I did cover it with saran wrap and I closed my plastic bowl and I put it in the fridge overnight. Now, I was supposed to take it out like the night before to make in the morning, but I took it out in the morning and I made it in the early afternoon. Maybe it needed a little bit more time to warm up, but it was okay. So I'm making Mickey shapes because we really like Mickey in our house. And I'm not making them too thin or too thick. I did play around with this. I made some thin, some thick. We do prefer the thicker ones, so I guess it's to your preference. But they're supposed to be, let me just, sorry, I'm translating the recipe. About half a centimeter thick. So again, I rolled it out on the wax paper just to have less of a mess, but as you can see, I didn't even do a lot of rolling. I just squeezed it because it was still a little bit hard. I wound up leaving a little bit until like later on in the day, and that was easier to work with, but it was still very hard and it was not sticky. I'm not sure why my dough was not sticky. It was supposed to be sticky, but it is what it is. So I wound up also cutting the dough into little pieces to get it to warm up a little bit faster. Once they were done, once I put them all on the tray, I put them in the oven at 355 degrees for about 10 minutes. My oven is finicky, so it just depends on your oven. You don't want them to be too dark because I think they'll be too hard then. So some of mine turned out darker and some of them turned out lighter. Now what I did was, because you're supposed to brush a little bit of egg on top, so the lighter ones I did not put egg on top, the darker ones I did. Wanted to see the difference between the two and to see which ones the kiddos would like better. Definitely the ones without the egg the kids like better, but I think both taste really good. Taste-wise, they're great. They're nice and soft. Just the dough wasn't what I was told it was supposed to be like. So I hope you enjoy this video. I don't do too many cooking videos, so if you have any comments for me or questions, please be sure to leave them in the comment box. If you liked the video, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more, check out my channel, hit the subscribe button and the notifications so you can see the different things that I do on my channel. I do DIYs, some organization, some cooking, crafts, trash to treasure, all sorts of stuff. So make sure you check out Nicole's channel as well. Make sure you check out the playlist to see what the other participants created, because I'm sure there's going to be some cool and neat and different things. Thanks for stopping by and have an excellent day.